Hello guys, this is RAT and this is a 2v2 commentary battle in Shogun 2 Total War. We're fighting two guys from the Three Kingdoms clan. This is me, I believe, and this is my book. I've got a few Naginata warrior monks, a few Naginata samurai, a couple of Naginata monk cav and a light guard, a light cav, sorry. A couple of Yari Ashigaru, and some Naginata attendants, and I believe I have two bow warrior monks. This is Ruse's build. He has a katana sword core. I believe he has 4 katana swords. He also has a matchlock monk, a couple of Naginata samurai, a couple of katana cav, and some mounted samurai as well, and some Yari Ashigaru, I believe. These guys we're playing, we know they're going to bring monk builds. So this guy's got loads of warrior monks, a couple of other cheapy spear units, and also monk cav, which I believe there's 2 over here. And the other opponent has also got pretty much full monk build. As you can see, running 3 units there, mostly monks. And he also has a bow unit as well. So okay, so that's their builds. So as you can see, with monk players, they're going to rush you, they're going to try and just get into you as quickly as possible and destroy you. The trick is to try and hold them up for as long as possible, make your bows count, try and get as many kills off as possible with your bow units, try and weaken them, and then when you've done that you'll be able to do some damage with your main support units, with your melee units. So, Ruse's opponent, I can't pronounce his name, Exonde or something like that. It sounds Spanish, but I can't pronounce his name. He's going to try and attack Ruse up this hill, which is kind of silly really, but Ruse really has no choice in doing this. Big City Knight is going to try and double team him, so he had to get himself into a decent defensive position to hold that off until I could get there. As you can see, all the green flags coming up behind. And it would have taken me a little while, a couple of units would have held me up, so it would have caused me a problem. Ruse's matchlocks are firing off, and they don't seem to be doing a huge amount of damage actually. I was kind of surprised by how little damage they did. They're firing at the attendants though, rather than the monks, so they've spread out in skirmish formation. So it would have been a little bit more difficult to hit, but I was surprised how little damage they did. So the engagement started on that side, just basically a blob just running in all the monk units. Down here, my units are moving in. Ruse has got a couple of his mounted samurai over here, and they're going to do a little bit of damage on those Naginata attendants. It was important that we took the dojo in the centre, and that is the morale dojo. Also, I'm trying to take the dojo on the left, which is the defense dojo, and Ruse's opponent is taking the attack dojo over there on the right in front of us. So Ruse's opponent's got his cav in behind. He's attacking the matchlocks. My main body of units have gone in and they're engaging the monks. The bows are firing down, so they're going to do quite a bit of damage to these monk units. Monks such low armour, they're going to do a lot of damage, the bow units on them, especially if you've got concentrated fire. A couple of monk bows firing down on one unit do quite a lot of damage, especially with low armour. Ruse's units are doing quite a lot of damage. They're holding out quite well against all these monks, especially as he's got units at the bottom as well that he's having to engage. Loads of war cries going off. Basically, I've got a couple of Naginata monks. My opponent's got quite a few Naginata monks. There's going to be quite a few war cries going off. I've also got a long Yari Ashigaru, and he's got hold firm on. When you're fighting monks, to be honest, hold firm is quite invaluable, just because of the fact with the war cry, it kind of gets rid of it. It kind of counteracts it. So as soon as they hit war cry, you can hit hold firm, just like on the no danchis when you can hit banzai. It kind of does the same thing. So over on this field, it looks like Ruse is actually winning this engagement. The bow unit that his opponent's got isn't going to do a huge amount of damage, just simply because of the fact they're in a forest. So it's not going to do a huge amount of damage. Some fatigue already on the monk units, which means they're going to be inadequate fighting really. Over on this flank, I've destroyed quite a few of his monks. Because he sent some units over to the left to attack Ruse, realistically, the units over here aren't going to do a huge amount against me. Well, cav coming in behind me there over with the bows, but I've got some spears there, they'll be able to sort it out. Ruse has managed to destroy the units on the hill, and he's going to push down now and attack the units coming down. As you can see, all his swords rushing down the hill. He's also got some cav in behind, which are going to go in. The spears move forward and they're going to counter them. But as you can see, there's quite a few sword units down here. Ruse's katana, as you can see by their stats, are pretty good units. So they're going to be able to do quite a lot of damage. My bows are still firing in. My long Yari Ashigaru are still holding out down there. They were in spear walls, so they're doing really quite well against the monk units. So Ruse's katanas are doing a brilliant job, just ripping through everything really. People say that there's not really much attacking units anymore on some of the forums. People are writing that and stuff. Ruse's katanas seem to do really well against anything that they fight, to be honest. I believe he uses Blade Master, but they seem to do a really good job. I've changed my bow's targets now, and I'm firing on the units that are fighting Ruse, just to give him a little bit of a helping hand, because his units are bound to be heavily depleted and very tired. So it'll give his units a helping hand if I fire down. I've destroyed everything down there at the bottom, so it's not going to be too much of a problem firing on his units. As you can see now, coming into the end of the battle really. And neither of the two opponents have really got anything left to kind of stand up as a fighting force, so it won't be too long until these guys have been defeated. But that was a good game to our opponents. These guys like to play with their monks, and they like to double team as well, so we were kind of aware of what they were going to try and do. So it wasn't really too much of a problem trying to counter it. Ruse did an outstanding job though on his side, being able to hold out for so long against those armies, so he did a great job. There's some cav behind. Ruse's cav's going to go deal with them. Got loads of spear units left. I'm kind of alternating at the moment between spear heavy armies and sword armies, just simply because of the fact that if I'm going to take my swords, I've got to use some really good quality swords, and I haven't got that many of them. So I've only got about 4 or 5 decent quality sword units. So it's causing me a bit of a problem taking swords to every battle, because if you take anything that isn't really that good, you face a monk army, they just get destroyed really quick. So I'm kind of mixing up between some Naginata Samurai and monks, and some Nodachi core armies at the moment. But that was a good game to our opponents. There's another one coming up now, and I hope everyone enjoyed the video. And here's the other one. This is again the Silent Assassin clan. These guys used to be in the earlier Total War games. I believe they disbanded and they all went off and joined new clans, but I believe it's been restarted up again. So welcome back to them. This is a game basically, I just wanted to show you how effective these bow units can be, especially the Mounted Samurai that Ruse has got. We're facing some monks again, obviously. That's what this game's kind of turned into. My core, as I said before, I've got Nodachi as a core this time. Ruse has got his usual swords and mixed spears. So it's basically standard builds we normally bring. This is Paria. I think that's how you pronounce it. I apologise, mate, if I haven't. And he's got pretty much a monk army. And this is his teammate. And he has got quite a few swords, and he's got 4 foot samurai, which you don't really see people use them that much. So he's got 4 of these foot samurai, there they are. So it'll be interesting to see how they do. So what's going to happen is Paria is going to try and find some kind of way to attack me with his monks. Now I'm going to try and hold him off as long as possible without having to try and engage him. In opponent Total War we called it kiting, which is basically where you just try and keep away from your opponent or get yourself into a position where he can't attack you very easily. And I'm just going to try and use my bow to the best advantage possible to deplete these monks before they get to me. As you see, do a huge amount of damage with just one volley from my monks. Over on this side, the cav are going to start engaging. I've got 2 monk cav and 2 light cav, I believe. Ruse has got a couple of katana. Reeve's got a Yari as well and a couple of Mounted Samurai. The red flags with the blue around them are Paria. The red flags with the black around them are mine. Sorry, it's a bit confusing because of all the red flags. And these are the monks still running around. And they're just going to continuously get shot. We're pretty well aware we're going to lose this cav battle just simply because of the fact that Paria's monk cav have got all the perks and all the retainers and everything, so they're going to be pretty decent cav units. So they do really well. As you can see, I'm going to reposition my men. And I'm going to pull them down to the right. The cav is still going in. Ruse has used his mounted samurai and lend a little bit of fire support. And here I go repositioning. I've got 2 Yari Ashigaru in front, which is pretty much standard to my builds really. I like to put them in front. They hold up the opponents really, really nicely with the spear walls. So I've got them in front, I've got bows behind, and I've got my sword units behind that with a couple of Naginata attendants behind them. As you can see, we're just basically harassing and harassing and harassing. And the more you can weaken your opponent before they get to you, the more chance there is of you actually defeating them. As you can see, his units are getting pretty depleted. I believe he's got a bow cav as well, Pereira. So he's trying to use them to counter the Naginatas. The mounted samurai, sorry. So Pereira's trying to move around again, and he's going to keep continuously trying to move around, and I'm going to have to keep moving my position to counter him. As you can see now, his opponent, his teammate is trying to get into a position that when I turn, he can try and shoot at me and attack me. But that's not going to really matter to me. I'm just going to pull back a little bit, and I'm going to move. As you can see, Pereira tried to make a move, and he's trying to go around on the flank. So I'm just going to switch myself back again. And I'm just going to basically continuously do this until we deplete them enough where it's not going to be too much of a problem, or until we get a chance to double team his teammate. Because they're now so far away from each other that if we made a quick rush on his teammate, there's not going to be a huge amount he's going to be able to do about it to help him. So as you can see, we're still firing in. Loads of monks getting killed all the time. Bow samurai and that all shooting in as well from Ruse. Ruse's bow samurai, mounted samurai, I've got to start getting their name right. His mounted samurai do a really decent job. He's starting to use them really, really well. As you can see, they're doing a lot of damage. So I'm going to let Pereira's bow cav just shoot at my Yari Ashigaru. It really doesn't matter to me at all. He can shoot them all day. And I'm going to concentrate all my fire on these monks. I want to kill these monks off. They're the better units that he's got, so it's important that I kill them. And they're pretty much the main force in his army. As you can see, we've depleted them so many. Dead without any kind of losses to myself at the moment, apart from a few cav. So I'm repositioning again, and every time he tries to move around me, I'm going to move back again. And as you can see, look at the distance he is away from his teammate now. His main core's on the right side, and his teammate's right away over the other side. So we're going to have an opportunity in a minute to rush. So we're just going to wait for that opportunity. So Pereira's moved forward again. He's seen my spear walls are going to just quickly form up, and he's decided to pull himself back again, and he's going to have to try and go back round on the flank. I mean, the fact is now that he didn't attack instantly to start with has caused him a huge problem, because now he's just getting depleted, and he's got to keep away from those spear walls, otherwise his monks aren't going to last very long at all now. So Ruse's mounted samurai just going to keep moving forward and back and keep shooting and shooting and shooting. There you go again, having another shot off. Killing a few more monks. And you can see now even bigger gap between them. So I believe in a second Ruse is going to rush, and I'm going to send everything I've got in to help him, while keeping my spear wall and my bows firing on Pereira. So as you can see, I'm constantly moving my units around, just making sure that everything's going okay. And Ruse, I believe, now is going to take this opportunity, and he's going to start his attack, knowing that his opponent isn't going to be able to shoot at him. So I just start with pullback before I notice what he's doing. And I'm going to move my units forward, and I'm going to help him out with the attack. As you can see, if you look at the minimap, you can see a huge gap between the two armies, and it's going to be too little too late for any help that's going to be able to come through, I'm sure. So as you can see now, I'm going to start making my move as well, after I realise that he's gone hammer and tongs basically right into his opponent. As you can see, his Naginata monks and everything are completely depleted, so it's not going to take too much to destroy them anyway, so they're not really too much of a threat to us at the moment. So my no-dachis are all going to go in, my katana cav are going to go in, and basically everything I've got is going to chuck at this guy, while my bows and everything are still depleting these monks. Look, I've managed to, been firing for so long, I've managed to get 2 lots of fire arrows out of them, so that's not too bad at all. Cav going in, swords going in, and basically just routing this guy away really, really quick with hammer and anvils. Managed to destroy the general pretty quick, as you can see, just routing flags all over the place for this guy. So really, really quick. And by the time the monks have turned up, the battle's already over on this side. And the monks are now turning up on my left flank, but not going to be a problem at all. Heavily depleted. A couple of no dachis, all with their banzai. And that'll be the end. So when we fight these monks, it's really, really good to get some decent bows down, get some fire on them, make sure they're heavily depleted. Try and spend as much time as possible, use every arrow you've got, because at the moment these monks are pretty overpowered and they're pretty difficult to deal with otherwise. But that was a good game to both our opponents. Thank you guys for watching. Please rate, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.